Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its mission? To explore strange new worlds, to discover new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Demon World.
Though the Enterprise's primary mission is peaceful exploration, the galaxy holds many surprises. To be prepared, we are conducting a mock battle with the USS Republic.
Captain Patterson reports the Republic is in position and ready to begin, Captain.
The Republic is arming weapons and raising shields. I suggest we do the same, Captain.
Mr. Sewell, raising shields. Mr. Chekhov, arm weapons.
Arming weapons.
Alright. Full impulse, Mr. Sewell. Let's see what the Republic has. Alright, we hit their sensors pretty good.
Target analysis off.
And they hit us minimally. Running away won't help you.
Computer estimates the Republic is crippled, Captain.
Captain Patterson extends his congratulations, sir.
Lowering shields and disarming weapons.
Message coming in from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
Jim, the Enterprise is ordered to travel to Pollux V. The natives report that alien life forms have been attacking the settlers near a mine at Mount Idle. You are to report to the High Prelate of the colony. The settlers are members of the Acolytes of the Stars sect. The description of the attackers vary, but all say that the attackers resemble creatures from many Earth religions known as demons. Starfleet wants you to determine the nature of these creatures and to resolve the situation without bringing harm to the colonists. Starfleet out.
Oh, man, I need to read that again. Oh well, let's see. I got my notebook here because we will need to take notes during this. Controls. Oh yeah, that's right, we can toggle to full screen. Oh, we can actually click magnification, I never knew that. So, we'll just leave it to default. We can, I'll stop, Mr. Sewell. Okay, there's things I want to do here first, so, I just gotta see, is it tab? Ah, there we go. So, I should have been faster in setting up my notebook, but, so we got Pollux V. Idle Mountain, Prelate. I really wish they wouldn't,
I advise referring to the star map and setting a course for the Pollux system, sir.
I wish the dialogue wouldn't go away automatically.
Orders are to proceed to the Pollux.
Okay. No one else has any input, it looks like. I think this... Okay, so yeah, it doesn't let me...
Captain's log.
Alright, so... let's learn what we can about the system first before we jump right in.
Topic not available, Captain.
Pollux V system. An inhabited satellite of Pollux V.
Pollux V has lately emerged from an ice age caused by large meteor strikes. It has recently been colonized by the acolytes of the star's religious sect. The planet is home to a wide variety of plant life, but insects and other lower life forms are the only known animals.
Interesting. Okay, so let's see if there's any mention, and I hope
Topic not available, Captain.
I hope that's how.
Mount
There
Idle,
we go. Mount Idle.
a major mountain on Pollux V, rising 5,360 meters above the planet's sea level. Acolytes, fully acolytes of the stars. Inspired by old human religions, the acolytes of the stars are a group of deists that have colonized several worlds in this quadrant. The acolytes prefer a relatively primitive lifestyle, reminiscent of mid-21st century Earth rural communities. Acolyte missionaries regularly assist nearby Federation worlds during times of need or disaster. Major acolyte settlements are Nicolasi on Pollux V, Germania on Maddox II, and Kentigern on Haven's World.
Is there any more?
Topic not available. Topic not. Topic
Okay,
not.
so we can't get any more information on that, but let's see, can we get information?
Nicolasi, chief colony of the acolytes of the star's religious sect, with over 1,000 members. Nicolasi is isolationist by Federation standards, but has assisted disaster relief teams and geologic surveys. It is led by Robert Angevin.
Oh, I didn't read all that.
Nicolasi, chief colony
Okay, they
of
just
the
read it
acolytes of
by,
the star's religious sect, with over 1,000 members. Nicolasi is isolationist by Federation standards,
They
but
put
has
this
assisted disaster
line
relief
in the wrong
teams and
place. So,
geologic.
okay, so let's see, Robert Angevin?
Robert Angevin, fully High Prelate Robert Everett Angevin, as High Prelate of the Acolytes of the Stars, see Acolytes. On Nicolasi, Robert Angevin serves as political and spiritual leader for that religious colony. Angevin is the acting Federation contact on that world, and is considered by Federation diplomats to be a fair and capable leader.
Okay, and then one last thing.
Constitution class, the largest class of starship in the Federation.
So we can also get some other background information that's really not particular to any of these, but
Republic, USS, Federation Starship Registry, NCC 1373. This Constitution-class starship is under the command of Captain Richard Patterson. One of the first 13 Constitution-class ships built, it has a full crew of 430 persons and is engaged in a 5-year mission of exploration. Current missions, non-classified. Starfleet War Games practice. Delivering Federation investigative team to Vardane. Sensor sweep of debris wave of Gadani 2 supernova.
let me get information on any of that.
Vardane, the name for the third planet in the Harlequin system. Vardane is a reclusive member of the Federation, formed by isolationist humans in the late 22nd century. Vardane is a technocratic society which has received Federation assistance on numerous occasions, but has not shared its own scientific advances. Allegedly sponsoring banned eugenics experiments, the inquiry of Stardate 4650.6 was indefinitely postponed at request of the Vardane government. Recent alleged rights violations of Turkin 3 immigrants has prompted further Federation investigations. Gadani 2, a system that went supernova 120 years ago, located beyond the outskirts of Federation space. A secondary wave of heavy elements that was produced by the supernova is currently being studied by Federation authorities.
This computer is basically like a voice-activated Wikipedia, or at least voice-activated in the universe.
Turgan 3, a Class M planet, recently evacuated after Sun entered its expansion phase of its cycle. The only remaining inhabitant is Turgan Solar Expansion Observation Project. Turgan immigrants have allegedly been pressed into cheap labor on Vardane. Numerous allegations of sentient rights violations have prompted a Federation investigation.
I have to wonder if any of this information will be useful later, since it is all in the game.
Topic not available, Captain. Topic...
Patterson.
There we go.
Richard. Full name, Captain Richard Cornelius Patterson. Captain of the USS Republic, Richard Patterson is considered a diplomat of the first rank. He has been decorated numerous times for bravery, particularly against the Klingons.
Fellow anti-Klingon warrior. I suppose he would have been one of the forefront leaders in the Federation Klingon War of, was it 2240, 2250 something? Whenever Discovery takes place. Oh, Discovery. I have thoughts about that. Anyways, so at this point, I think that's all the information really pertinent. Actually, the information that isn't pertinent to our upcoming mission. So I'm going to put in a few more commands just so people who maybe don't know as much about Star Trek, because I know I haven't exactly been explaining stuff for them in the last episode and this episode. So I'll try to put in a link in the description to where you can just skip ahead to when I go to Pollux. But let's start with the Enterprise.
USS Enterprise, Federation Constitution class starship, currently commanded by Captain James T. Kirk, on the 4th year of a 5-year mission of exploration. Its first officer is Mr. Spock. Its registration number is NCC 1701.
Alright, now let's look at the crew.
Kirk, James. Full name, Captain James Tiberius Kirk, current captain of the USS Enterprise, the youngest captain in the history of Starfleet. Captain Kirk has been decorated many times and is considered one of Starfleet's best officers and a superb military commander.
Not to mention an accomplished diplomat, Spock.
Spock. Full name, uncodable in English language. First officer of the USS Enterprise. Spock is one of the finest science officers in Starfleet and has been awarded numerous Starfleet and Federation decorations.
Okay, then let's just work our way around the bridge. Uhura.
Uhura. Full name, Lieutenant Nyota Uhura. Lieutenant Uhura is the Chief Communications Officer of the USS Enterprise. Uhura is 4th in command of the Enterprise and is considered an expert computer analyst, specializing in communications equipment and linguistics.
Fortunately, her role on the show was basically hailing frequencies open, Captain, unfortunately, but that's as much a result of the times that show was filmed in as anything else, and Gene Roddenberry was generally pretty liberal in terms of, being very progressive about, human rights, equal rights, not being racist, that sort of thing. In fact, he wanted a female first officer, but as I recall, he was told you can have the Martian or the woman, but not both. So, let's continue.
Topic not available, Captain.
Scott Montgomery. Full name, Lieutenant Commander Montgomery Scott, Chief Engineer of the USS Enterprise. Montgomery Scott is one of the most respected engineers in Starfleet and has published numerous papers on starship engineering. Scott is considered the foremost expert on the engine systems of the Constitution-class starships.
Alright, Sulu.
Sulu. Hikaru. Full name, Lieutenant Hikaru Sulu, Chief Helmsman of the USS Enterprise. Sulu is considered one of the most capable officers in Starfleet. Hikaru graduated near the top of his class at the Academy and is considered an excellent military tactician.
And finally, Chekhov.
Daystrom, Richard. Widely considered the father of modern artificial intelligence, Dr. Daystrom is a legend in the world of computing. His duotronic circuits won him great acclaim. His multitronic experiments were less successful.
So, okay, Richard Daystrom, since Peter brought it up, is basically the guy who designed the modern computer systems that power the Enterprise and pretty much every other Starfleet ship and starbase in the quadrant. They're certainly the most advanced at their time. They used floppy drives in the 1960s, essentially. In any case, that's obviously a bug since I had called up Chekhov's record, but I almost forgot McCoy.
McCoy. Leonard. Full name, Dr. Leonard McCoy. Current Chief Surgeon of the Federation Starship USS Enterprise. Dr. McCoy is considered one of the finest medical researchers in the Federation, but his techniques have caused him to be branded as a maverick in the medical community.
Funny, since he's always the voice of caution. Do they have Nurse Chapel?
Chapel.
They do.
Christine. Chief Nurse of the USS Enterprise, graduated 3rd in her class in nursing at Starfleet Academy. She has served aboard the Enterprise for 4 years.
As I recall, there was a security officer named Leslie?
Topic not available, Captain.
Okay. In any case, let's go over some of the Enterprise's systems now.
Sensors. Starfleet technology, allowing a nearly instantaneous survey of distant objects.
Topic not available,
Okay, so
Captain.
they don't talk about the navigational deflector. That's what this little dish is on the Enterprise. And basically, it creates kind of a miniature shield in front of the ship, whose goal is just to sweep away any, small micrometeoroids or debris or, stellar matter that might otherwise hit the ship while it's traveling. And that's mostly all it's on, so...
Shields. Force fields generated by a starship to deflect oncoming matter, such as micrometeorites. In the unfortunate event of combat, they also serve as a defensive system.
Okay, so phasers.
Phaser. The chief weapon of a Federation starship and Federation personnel derived from lasers. Phasers can produce cellular feedback that can stun organic life, or can disrupt and destroy molecular bonds. Handheld phasers are considered a critical part of a land party's inventory.
If I recall correctly from the TNG technical manual, phaser stands for phase energy rectification, and they're basically a sort of particle weapon, I believe nadion particles to be exact. And they have multiple settings, at least the hand phasers do, from, I believe they have 16 different settings, ranging from a light stun to energy powerful enough to instantly vaporize you. Not even just vaporize, but like molecularize. Vaporize your very atoms. Torpedoes.
Photon torpedo. The most powerful weapon of a starship, a photon torpedo has roughly twice the energy yield of a phaser. Torpedo. A delivery system used by many races in warfare in space. The most powerful known system is the Romulan plasma torpedo, followed by the photon torpedoes used by the Federation, Klingons, and Alasi. Plasma torpedo. Romulan ship-based weapon of extreme power but limited range.
I think that's everything. So, do they have this?
Topic not available, Captain.
Okay, so they don't have the energy weapons that are used by basically everyone else in the game. What have we not covered? Warp.
Warp drive. A propulsion device common on Federation, Klingon, and the latest generation of Romulan ships. The warp drive was originally developed in the 21st century by Zefram Cochrane of Alpha Centauri. The warp propulsion system consists of matter, antimatter, reaction assembly, power transfer conduits, and warp engine nacelles.
Okay, so can we actually, for those who haven't seen First Contact,
Topic not available, Captain. Topic not available, Captain. Topic
okay, I
not.
guess they don't have their place on Alpha Centauri.
Topic not.
Centauri 7, home planet of Tyrannolus, an artist of great renown. His most valuable and rare work is a self-published folio titled The Creation.
Okay, so I guess they don't have any follow-up information on Zefram Cochrane or Alpha Centauri. But, let's see.
Topic not available, Captain.
Do they discuss
Topic
antimatter?
not available, Captain. Topic.
Okay, so antimatter, for those who don't know, So there's these things called antiprotons, antineutrons, anti-electrons that are basically the same thing, but with like opposite charge and spin. So like an anti-electron, also known as a positron, is basically a large mass with a positive charge instead of a negative. Positron, I believe, is basically an electron, which is a small atomic mass, relatively speaking. It's like the smallest part of the atom, and it's got a positive charge instead of a negative charge. Then protons, and then their counterpart antiprotons, which are a larger atomic mass with a negative charge instead of a positive charge. Neutrons, I think, would still be neutral. I don't know if there's opposite mass to that. So basically, you can get antimatter, whereas matter is composed of neutrons, electrons, protons. You get antimatter, which is composed of neutrons or antineutrons. I don't quite know how that works out, but then you have antiprotons and positrons. And the thing about antimatter is it has a tendency to instantly annihilate itself in matter when it comes in contact with matter. So just as we ignite gas to drive our internal combustion engines, they basically bring matter and antimatter into contact to drive their starships around, and also to blow things up in the case of full-time torpedoes. Let's see what other topic.
Communicator. A communications device used by Starfleet landing parties.
Communication.
Topic not.
Scott. Montgomery. Full name. Lieutenant Communicator. A communication.
I don't know how they got Scotty from comm, but okay. So we covered sensors, weapons.
Topic not. Topic.
Impulse engines.
Topic not. Topic.
Okay, so impulse engines are basically fusion thrusters. They are the primary sublight units of travel. I believe they can get pretty close to 1C, but typically they operate around, I think, typically up to 0.25C to avoid time dilation effects. Although, if memory serves from the TNG technical manual, they can get up to 0.8C if you're willing to deal with time dilation effects. Now, warp drive avoids the time dilation effects of FTL travel because the ship itself isn't actually moving faster in light. Instead, you're entering you're generating a subspace bubble around the ship, which compresses the space in front of it and expands the space behind it. So you kind of move like a zipper across space, in a sense. And because you're mucking about with space, the ship itself isn't technically traveling faster than light. It is, but it isn't. It's weird, but basically that's how they avoid time dilation effects. I don't really know.
Earth, the third planet in the Sol system, headquarters of the Federation and
I think
Starfleet.
we only have a few topics left.
Federation, the United Federation of Planets, a body devoted to galactic peace and cultural and scientific advancement.
Think like a UN that's not dysfunctional, that serves more as a super government like the EU does to Europe. That's in space. And then Starfleet.
Starfleet, the official body of the Federation that is involved with space exploration and contact with alien worlds. Starfleet is based on human naval traditions, but military matters are not its primary mission. Starfleet Academy, the training branch of Starfleet. The Academy is located on Earth. Nearly every member race of the Federation has sent representatives to the Academy.
And Starfleet Academy is essentially the equivalent of like the Annapolis Naval Academy here in the United States. So you go there for 4 years to learn your specialty, you get trained for service, and then you get a commission in the fleet upon graduating. More or less.
Red alert. The highest stage of alert aboard a starship, indicating imminent disaster. All duty personnel are required to go immediately to their post during a red alert.
I think this is
Topic no.
about all the background information I can give you off of this computer that's relevant for the game. as it stands right now anyway. So, with that, let's go to our star map and head to Pollux V. So we want to go 19. That's going to be this one, I think.
We have arrived at Pollux V.
Message from High Prelate Robert Angiven, sir.
Welcome, Enterprise. The High Prelate awaits you. Please, beam down and meet with him.
Mr. Sulu, put us in a standard orbit above Pollux V.
Entering standard orbit.
Spock, McCoy, you're with... Yeah, that would be it. Spock, McCoy, you're with me. Scotty, you have the con. So now we will beam down.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the car.
This is so much better, gentlefolk. We are honored at your presence and hope you will find peace here in our haven.
Alright, well, let's quick look.
Captain, the flora on this planet is very interesting. I wonder how useful it may be for medicinal purposes.
Let's look around a bit.
On the other side of the trees is Idle Mountain, a tall, forbidding place. You have a vague feeling of danger. Remnants of a recent snowfall cover the ground. A quickly constructed Spartan shelter, primarily used by fledgling colonies.
All mining equipment use this road.
A beautiful snow-covered scene with a path leading off to Mount Idle. High Prelate Angiven waits patiently for you to decide what you will do next. James Tiberius Kirk, Captain of the Enterprise. He's always happy to run an errand of mercy. Dr. Leonard McCoy, the finest doctor in Starfleet, wishes that he were on a warmer planet. Ensign Everts, who has never been this close to snow before in his life, gazes with childlike fascination at the ground. Spock raises an eyebrow.
Alright, so let's talk to him.
I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. We have received word that alien life forms are creating problems at your mining facilities at Idle Mountain. Tell me more. Most High Prelate Angiven, I am honored to meet you. I consider it my divine duty to assist you in any possible way with the spawn of the devil. Been seeing ghosts and boogeymen, eh? I find that a little hard to believe.
Obviously, there's only one real choice here.
I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. We have received word that alien life forms are creating problems at your mining facilities at Idle Mountain. Tell me more.
Obvious choice is obvious, so...
Certainly, Captain Kirk. Not aliens per se. We have encountered what we believe are demons at Idle Mountain. Creatures surely emerging from the very gates of hell. Our God would not test us thus without reason. So we believe your might and insight are our God's method to help us discover what is going on.
Aside from seeing demons, has any hard data been collected? Any evidence I could see? Demons, gates of hell, this is the 23rd century. Aside from seeing demons, has any hard data been collected? Any evidence I could see?
Once again, obvious choice is obvious.
A skeptic would consider everything merely anecdotal or unproven. My people will gladly tell you their own stories, so you need not hear it secondhand through me.
What can you tell me about the mine itself? You're wasting the time of a starship capable of destroying this planet with campfire stories? No wonder you were dumped out here in the middle of nowhere. What can you tell me about the mine itself?
The area is exceptionally stable tectonically, and easy for our machinery to work in, praise God. We've mined for hafnium and a variety of useful trace elements. The deeper we dig, however, the more anomalous the variety of minerals seems to be. Our Ignatiate brother Stephen has his own theories about why this might be. Either way, the anomalies inspired Brother Canry to conduct studies inside the mine. Yesterday, he reported discovering a strange door. A gate to hell, surely, for the demons caused a cave-in immediately. Canry was trapped, unconscious, and the demons prevent us from rescuing him. We can only hope he is still alive. Thank you for your courtesy, Kirk. May you receive the guidance and protection of our God as you complete this divine mission.
Alright, so let's see what our landing party has to say about this.
This planet's as beautiful as everyone says it is.
The trees, the fresh air, the freezing cold.
Come on, Bones. The cold will improve your circulation.
Some people get too much circulation.
You look rather cold, Bones.
I'm not cold. I'm freezing. And that damn transporter just had to set me down in the middle of a snowdrift.
A centimeter of snow does not technically constitute a drift, Doctor.
And doctors say that patients complain too much.
Captain, demons and supernatural creatures are, almost by definition, illogical. Yet it is evident these people believe what they have seen. Barring illness or mass hysteria, I agree that a real problem seems to exist.
I've never seen snow like this before. This is great.
You mean you've never built a snowman, Ensign?
I've never even thrown a snowball. Do you think anyone would mind?
Well...
Later, Ensign, we have work to do.
Of course, sir.
Alright, so let's talk to his buddies, get their stories first. Actually, before we do that... Okay, just ignore my clicking. I wanna... Let me make sure I get the right key. Do I just... I can right click. Okay, I guess that will do, because then I can... There's a hotkey to get that, but we don't. Let's just go back to that, and once again, let's look around the room.
A majestic view of Mount Idle can be seen through the skylight. A chapel typical of the acolytes of the stars. Boxes of supplies and mining equipment litter the floor. Spock waits for your command, patient as ever. A sturdy man of advanced years whose blue eyes meet yours with clarity, curiosity, and directness. James Kirk takes time to rest and ponder the remainder of the mission. A grim-faced minor colonist nods curtly at you. McCoy looks anxiously about the room. The Tellarite appears completely at home surrounded by humans, but the wrinkling on his brow indicates a great deal of worry.
You'll understand if I don't stand up, I hope. You'll understand if I don't...
I'm not trying to talk to you, I'm trying to look at you,
Ensign
but okay.
Everts cannot take his eyes off the sight of Mount Idle.
Alright, so let's start talking to people.
I am worried about Brother Chubb. Can you examine him, Doctor?
So we can use...
Jim, this man has suffered severe physical injuries to his head and arm. The wounds have been adequately cared for. However, he has developed a Nugarian infection. If not treated swiftly, the effects can be fatal. The infection can normally be treated with hypoditoxin, but there's none on the Enterprise.
I may be of some assistance. The Lorexian berry grows near the mouth of the cave. If I could acquire it, I would be able to synthesize the hypoditoxin from the berry. Unfortunately, the demons prevent us from approaching the cave entrance. Perhaps you could retrieve it for me.
Well, that does seem to be a pressing issue. Let's just make sure...
The man is suffering moderately from the effects of his age, but seems healthy, alert, and in fine spirits. There's nothing there required. The man seems worried and stressed, but all body functions appear within normal limits. The alien's life signs seem stress elevated. Otherwise, he appears fundamentally healthy. This man is getting worse. We've got to find those berries.
Alright, we'll find the berries. If we go in the other structure real quick... Well, normally this is where...
Assorted pieces of glass rest on this table, from ancient beakers to double burners.
Normally this is where the prelate goes, but,
An antiquated molecular synthesizer sits in the corner. A glass-fronted display of mineral specimens, including a meteorite, a few fossil shells, the skull of a cat-sized alien animal, and a very encrusted twist of metal. A multi-purpose workspace with fine, well-worn tools and equipment close at hand. An old-fashioned computer. It appears to have some type of simulation running.
Alright, so... The key thing to remember there is the molecular synthesizer. So, let's go up to Idle Mountain. Klingons!
You see a small explosion, and the Klingon's hand falls to the ground with a dull thud.
I guess they don't make Klingons like they used to, sir.
So let's call into the ship about
Nothing
this.
to report, Captain.
Okay, I guess we can't yet.
Well, we've seen Klingons. Now all we need is a few Romulans.
Control your thoughts, Doctor. There is a high probability that something here is using our own memories against us.
I guess this isn't such a great planet after all.
We were caught flat-footed there. I don't want any more surprises to catch us off guard.
Captain, I detect a recent avalanche approximately 6.2 kilometers away that occurred within the last 3 days. The mountain may be quite dangerous.
Demons, Klingons, avalanches. What's next? The Wicked Witch of the West?
That is not logical, Doctor.
It wasn't supposed to be logical, you green-blooded falcon. Why does everything have to be so damn logical?
Captain, we registered phaser fire and an unknown energy beam. Is everyone okay?
We're fine. Did you register any disruptor fire?
No, Captain. Why? Are there Klingons down there?
No, just an idea, Kirk.
That's why disruptor was
Fascinating. I begin to suspect that we have stumbled upon something that the colonists would never have uncovered.
What is it, Spock?
I wish to gather further data before making a definite conclusion, Captain.
Mount Idle rises above you. These Brandzite pods add a nice touch to the local flora. A small stream flows down toward the forest. They look like Klingons. It's the Klingon's detached hand. Dr. McCoy is still hoping the cold winds that whip around Mount Idle will soon die down. Ensign Everett seems to be rattled by the attack of the Klingons. James Kirk filled with a premonition of more dangers yet to come. Your Vulcan science officer seems to be lost in thought, but remains alert.
Alright, so let's see if there's any reason why these would explode.
This is definitely not a real Klingon, Jim.
Spock, how about you use your tricorder?
This is not a Klingon, Captain. Not a real one. It is an organic construct, an android-like robot. It looks like a Klingon, but the appearance is entirely superficial.
What about that?
This is a detached hand with some kind of circuitry in the palm, Captain.
Oh, let's pick it up then.
You take the Klingon's detached hand.
And we got some berries here, so...
Various types of berries grow amongst the bushes. Idle Mountain. Mine entrance. A Gindorian fern. James T. Kirk, always wondering what the next surprise will be. Spock, perhaps the most brilliant mind in Starfleet, pondering a most peculiar mystery. Leonard McCoy, hoping that the cave will be warmer than outside. Ensign Everett's keeping a sharp eye out for anything dangerous.
The answer to this mystery lies ahead of us, gentlemen.
You get no response.
Whoever was trying to stop us may not stop with those Klingons, Captain. I recommend extreme caution.
The thought had occurred to me, Mr. Spock, but thank you for mentioning it.
Does your tricorder say the cave is warmer, Spock?
It is not logical for me to use my tricorder to determine the cave's temperature, Doctor. I do not see what purpose it would serve.
Spock, everybody talks about the weather.
I'm sorry I let you down with those Klingons back there. I should have been paying more attention.
Just don't make that mistake again, Ensign.
Those Klingons give me the willies. They always have. My sister was wounded by them in the Chozon ambush.
We've all had our share of conflict with the Klingons, Ensign. The Organians told me that one day humans and Klingons will become good friends. I wonder if I'll ever live to see that day.
Okay, so now let's see if we can actually...
Nothing to report, Captain.
Oh, we can't actually take the temperature reading of the cave.
There's nothing there required.
Okay. In any case...
These seem to be Loraxian berries, Captain. They have several medicinal uses, but Dr. McCoy would know more.
So, McCoy,
Jim, these are the berries we need to synthesize the hypodetoxin. We must get these to Brother Stephen quickly.
You have retrieved a sample of berries.
So let's go on further, because they did mention that they lost a crew member, or a colony member in the avalanche. So...
Captain, there are several weak points in the cave-in's structure. Careful use of our phasers from the top down should be able to clear it.
I'm picking up weak vital signs. If we don't dig him out soon, we're going to lose him.
Okay. Firing positions, everyone.
Assume firing positions.
This man is badly hurt and suffering from shock and exposure as well. It was a near thing, but he'll live.
Oh, thank you, kind souls, for saving my life. Let me rest here for a little before returning to report this miracle to Prelate Angiven.
No sign of demons, Klingons, or other hostiles, Captain. I promise, I'll let you know the instant something appears.
Don't be too anxious, Ensign. We may want to talk with them. A gateway to an alien race. The wonders of the galaxy are endless, aren't they, Mr. Spock?
Indeed, Captain.
They can also be damn cold.
I recommend as thorough an analysis of this area as possible.
Jim, the next time you need medical help on a snowball...
Bones.
I'll probably end up coming along.
A large metallic door is set in the structure.
I'm just looking around.
This looks like some of the hand security panels on the Enterprise. A cavern deep in Mount Idle. A cavern deep in Mount Idle. Ensign Everett's wary of more ambushes. James T. Kirk, captain of the Enterprise. Commander Spock, curious about what lies ahead. Dr. Leonard McCoy, glad that the cave provides some shelter from the breeze. Brother Kandri is barely conscious and is lying still, trying to regain his strength.
Oh, didn't want that. Here we go.
Fascinating, Captain. This door is made of an unknown material. It is clearly built by an alien race we have no knowledge of. Nothing to report, Captain. It appears to be a security lock designed to open the door when the correct handprint is registered.
Interesting, but that'll have to wait for another time. We've got lives to save. Come on. So first, let's give these to, was it Brother Angevin?
Good! You have found the berries. Bring them to my lab, quickly.
Alright. And his lab, if he didn't mention it, it's this other building.
I never dreamed that Starfleet would be interested in my discoveries, Captain. But our God often surprises us.
Okay, so now I think...
The settings on the Ardak 4 have already been adjusted. Simply place the berry in the machine and the hypoditoxin will be synthesized.
Okay, so we'll just put them in here.
The machine synthesizes a quantity of hypoditoxin.
We've got to get this to Brother Chubb as quickly as possible, Jim.
Right, Bones, work your magic on them. Actually, before we do that, I wanna... Oh, I can't actually use the... Well, I wanna look at it.
A flask of hypoditoxin processed from the berries of this planet.
Okay. One less. Okay, it doesn't let me do that. Alright, we'll just give it to him.
Thank you. You're most kind.
Alright, now we can talk to everyone after we make sure that he's stabilized. So, McCoy, scan him again.
This man has recently suffered a nasty but non-life-threatening wound. The damage has been adequately cared for. The man's vital effects are attributable to shock and stress.
Okay, so it sounds like he's going to live now, so let's get to talking.
I am Brother Stephen, an Ignatiate following the holy teachings with mind and soul alike. I believe the anomalous mineral readings in combination with evidence of ancient disturbances in this otherwise highly stable geologic location indicates previous habitation of the region eons ago.
Why, Spock, you two should get along fine. He sounds just like you.
I would be equally honored to discuss medicine with you, Doctor, as science with your Vulcan associate. Let me continue. I believe our God made humans, aliens, and demons all. If I could get a real demon into my study, I would bless our God for the opportunity, as I thank him for everything in this life.
You tread close to unholy knowledge, Brother Stephen.
I appreciate your prayers, Brother Roberts. Captain, if you and your people go up the mountain, I hope afterward you will visit me in my study, which is next door. I'm too old to make the trek myself, but I'm eager for knowledge. In return, I will offer you what insights our God grants these old eyes.
Okay, so we'll probably take him up on that offer.
Brother Kandre is my partner. I was on the communications link when the demons caused the rockfall and silenced him. He said he'd found a strange door with devilish writing. Truly, he came upon the gate of hell itself.
I headed up the party that sought to rescue Brother Kandre. Without warning, the demons appeared and attacked us as we approached the mine.
Can you tell us what they look like?
Like the demons that have plagued devout folk since before our people left the earth. Huge, muscular demons with ruddy skin, truly the manifestation of evil, with bat wings, horns and talons and a pointed tail. God preserve us all. One tore open my arm and I surely would have perished, but for my companions who bore me back down the mountain.
The demons didn't follow you?
No.
Interesting.
I am Brother Griznash. I went up the mountainside in solitary prayer, seeking to face my fears. Indeed, I found them. A bellowing Krognik demon with sharp teeth and a long snout descended upon me in a rush of wind.
Captain, a Krognik demon has a decidedly wolfish appearance. Brother Griznash, is this not the traditional shape of the Evil One and his minions among Tellarites?
It is.
I believe this may be significant, Captain.
So now we've seen demons for all of these people, and we ourselves have seen Klingons. And we know that they're artificial organics, so to speak, kind of sinew droids. Alright.
I never dreamed that Starfleet would be interested in my discoveries, Captain. But our God often surprises us.
Let's do a full survey.
A majestic view of Mount Idle can be seen through the skylight. An antiquated molecular synthesizer sits in the corner. A glass-fronted display of mineral specimens, including a meteorite, a few fossil shells, the skull of a cat-sized alien animal, and a very encrusted twist of metal. A multi-purpose workspace with fine, well-worn tools and equipment close at hand. An old-fashioned computer. It appears to have some type of simulation running. Assorted pieces of glass rest on this table, from ancient beakers to double burners. Brother Stephen watches patiently as you examine his study. Ensign Everts finds himself fascinated by the acolytes and their planet. Captain Kirk wonders what is going to happen on this mission. Dr. McCoy is glad that he is in a warm, heated room.
Of course he is.
Mr. Spock finds the scientific equipment in this room to be rather primitive.
Of course he does.
I wonder if any of this stuff might be useful.
Well, what happens next?
This place looks real comfortable. A place to combine work, contemplation. Man's got an eye for the beauty of useful things, and for the use of beautiful things. I think we could get along fine.
This study represents a man with a keen mind, Captain. To judge by what I see, there is little which does not interest him. The equipment is antiquated, but practical.
This appears to be a study and lab. The equipment looks very ancient.
Alright, so now... what can we use?
There is nothing at the moment for me to do there. Mr. Spock, see what you can dig up from that old-fashioned computer terminal.
Captain, this appears to be a model of the Earth. Notice how it models a proper situation for a total eclipse.
bit more information.
A vintage 801286 of the mid-21st century. It is a fine museum piece.
I think it would have been a museum piece back then.
Fascinating, Captain. It is an RDAC 4 molecular synthesizer, a museum piece in perfect working order. Residue of several different compounds are in the tubes. None of the compounds would explain the sightings. Nothing to report, Captain. I read a collection of small items of no evident value. I would characterize this as a small museum display, Captain.
Alright, so then let's use...
You are interested in my little museum of curiosities?
Looks like a pile of junk if you ask me. Yes, tell us about these things. Where did you find all this? Looks like a pile of junk if you ask me. Yes, tell us about these things.
I enjoy talking about these treasures. Shall I go into mineral specimens?
Sure.
True curiosities, nothing more. I think they're very pretty, don't you? Shall I go into mineral specimens? Meteorite. I believe this is evidence of the cataclysm which destroyed the moon of Pollux V eons past. I've constructed a theoretical model based on analysis of the planet's rings of what things might have been like. I think that the moon, like Earth's moon, would have made a total eclipse of the sun possible. I would have liked to have seen that. For conditions making a perfect total eclipse are rare in the universe. Our God creates great wonders. Shall I go into mineral specimen? Meteorite. Fossil shells. One of the oldest forms I've seen on this planet. Our God makes beautiful things indeed. Shall I go into mineral specimens? Meteorite. Fossil shells. Skull of a small alien animal. The skull of a modern Silati, the largest creature native to this planet, about the size of a house cat from Earth. The Silatis combine a rather insectoid pattern with four-legged reptilian form, including praying mantis-like forelimbs. Shall I go into mineral meteorite, fossil skull, twist of metal? This chunk of rock is a greatly weathered example of a vanadium tungsten alloy, which doesn't occur naturally. It is my best evidence that the area was previously inhabited. Shall I go into mineral specimens? Meteorite, fossil shell, skull, twist, or would you rather move on to something else? Very well. I can't imagine why, but if you have a further interest in any of this, take what you like. But please remember to return my treasures when you're done with them.
Okay, so...
You are interested in...
Looks like a pile of junk if you ask me. Yes, where did you find all this?
Here and there. Much of it was brought to me by others exploring widely.
Looks like a pile of junk if you ask me. Yes, tell us about it.
Shall I go with minerals, or would you... Very well.
Okay, wrong key. This is what I wanted to use. Just to, Oh, it doesn't let us scan stuff. That's fine. Alright, so let's go back to... Now that we've taken care of all the crises, we can go back to the mountain. And here we are.
Jim, the next time you need
bones,
I'll probably end up...
Okay, so he said that already.
No sign of demons?
Don't be too angry.
Okay, so they're just repeating dialogue at this point. So let's try... Oops.
Sir, it may be dangerous. Let me try it. I think I was shocked, sir.
Okay, so then let's not do that. Bad things might happen if we keep doing that. Let's try the hand.
The fit is perfect, but something seems to be shorting out.
Spock?
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Let's see if this works. Oh, okay. So the hand is damaged, but we do know a place where we can repair it. Because there happens to be a workbench in the laboratory.
Mr. Spock, see what you can do about that hand.
This machinery is delicate, but I have managed to repair the circuitry.
Alright, so we have a fixed hand. So now we can go back. And let's use our fixed hand.
The hand's circuitry triggers a connection and the door opens. A long tunnel descends into the mountain. James T. Kirk, captain of the Enterprise. Commander Spock, curious about what lies ahead. Ensign Everts, wary of more ambushes. Dr. Leonard McCoy, glad that the cave provides some shelter from the breeze.
Anyone have thoughts about
A
this?
gateway to an alien race. The wonders of the galaxy are endless, aren't they, Mr. Spock?
Indeed, Captain.
They can also be damn cold.
I recommend as thorough an analysis of this area as possible.
You get no response.
No sign of demons, Klingons.
Don't be too anxious, Ensign.
Jim, the next time you...
Bones.
Okay.
I'll probably end up...
We had those lines. Tricorder readings, Mr. Spock.
Nothing to report, Captain.
McCoy, any life signs ahead?
This is incredible, Jim. I'm picking up faint life sign readings behind this door.
Alright, let's go see who's waiting for us then.
James T. Kirk, captain of the Enterprise. Spock is analyzing the alien machines. Dr. McCoy looks back. Ensign Everts is looking around. It appears to be an abstract piece of alien art. It looks like a control panel with slide switches. Many alien machines fill the room. This floor contains conduits for conducting geothermal energy. Many alien machines fill the room. Many alien machines fill the room.
Alright. Thoughts, gentlemen?
I think we found the answer to our mystery.
Logically, the machinery is sustaining some type of life in suspended animation. If we can reactivate the machines, then we may be able to meet its creators.
I wonder who or what constructed all this.
I'm just a security officer, sir.
Alright. Tricorder readings, Mr. Spock.
This control panel is a manual override for the alien life support equipment. Fascinating, Captain. It is a diagram of a lunar eclipse of this planet. See how the red sphere, the moon, is casting a shadow on the blue sphere, Pollux V. This must be a very old piece of work, because this planet's moon was destroyed thousands of years ago. The machinery is waiting for the gravitational pull of another eclipse to activate it, an eclipse that will never come. And one other thing, Captain. This may also be a diagram showing the proper settings on that control panel. It is an alien life support system, Captain, utilizing geothermal energy. It is still functioning, waiting for some sort of signal.
Alright. McCoy, what about those life sign readings?
This is a very old and very complex life support system. It appears to still be operational. This is a very old and...
Okay. So, let's go ahead and look at this control panel. So we see we got about so what does that do?
Nothing happens.
Oh. Alright, so we got about half of these, and then 3/4, give or take, or
Nothing happens.
come on.
Nothing happens.
There's nothing at the moment from... There's nothing at the moment from me to...
It's been a very long time since... I've played this. Do I want to go the other way? I don't know how they're... Because I think we gotta match these power bars to what they're showing, but...
Nothing happens.
Fascinating, Captain. It is a diagram of a lunar eclipse. The machinery is waiting for the gravitational pull.
Nothing happens.
See, the problem is... Oh, there are 6. Okay, so... We want 3 and 3. And I think...
Nothing happens.
Do you want the other way?
Nothing happens.
We'll get this eventually. 3.
Nothing happens.
3, 2. I think we just gotta tweak the blue one.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Really?
Nothing happens.
That's kind of bullshit. Actually, this kind of confuses me now because it's like it's maxed out at both ends. So do we want... There we go.
Welcome to our home. Thank you for repairing our somnambutron.
Stop. You're trespassing on Federation territory.
Wrong answer.
I welcome you on behalf of the United Federation of Planets. Who are you? Where you come from? We did fix your machine. Can we write the repair bill off against rent on this land?
Wrong answer.
Stop. I welcome you on behalf of the United Federation of Planets. Who are you? Where you come from?
We call ourselves Nowians. Thousands of years ago, we saw that meteor impacts were going to cause an ice age. We created this huge underground shelter to preserve our race, keeping us in suspended animation until the planet had recovered. We programmed the machinery to revive us at the next eclipse, but we did not count on the destruction of our moon.
Some advanced civilization. Perhaps you can tell us about the demons. Perhaps you can tell us about the demons.
The demons, as you call them, are created by a machine designed to keep intruders away from our sleep chambers. It pulls from the minds of any approaching creature their most feared enemy and produces replicas to scare them away. For you and your crew, it was Klingons. For the Tellarite, a wolf demon. And for the other humans, a demon from their religion. On behalf of my people, thank you for waking us. I will turn off the machinery which creates our guardians, so that they no longer bedevil those with whom we now share our home. Oh, woe! Alas! The key is missing. I can do nothing. Even we will suffer the attacks of our own guardians unless the key can be found. I implore you, if you can help, please do so.
He knows an awful lot about what's going on for someone we woke up 20 seconds ago.
The alien is humanoid with green reptilian skin. It appears unarmed.
This seems to be a cryogenic suspension chamber, Captain.
Alright, quiet.
There's nothing there requiring a...
This life form appears to be intelligent, a new sentient race. There appears to be a resemblance between it and the Celotis, although the present forms are quite small and definitely non-sentient.
Alright, well I was asking McCoy, but...
This life form appears to
so
be...
he just gives us the same dialogue. So, with that, we have to go get the only piece of metal that we know of around here that's non-native. Come on. So, back to the lab. Let's study.
I never dreamed that...
Okay, so...
The glass case is... The glass case...
You are interested?
Looks like a pile of junk if you ask. Yes, tell us about these things.
Shall I go with minerals, or would you rather... Very well.
Alright, so we had to go through that again, because I guess it relocked the case. So let's take this and this.
I never dreamed...
First, we're gonna walk over here, and then walk all the way back to the case.
Jim, think about that skull we picked up from Brother Stephen. Now look at this alien. See the resemblance?
Yep, and that's actually why we're going to make our first save.
Save new game.
Because I'm going to try something I haven't tried before, so I just don't want to mess it up. But what we can do here is we can take the skull and give it to him.
A child? No, I see many differences. This must be what our people who did not slumber have become. Still, I would like to see these remains properly interred, according to the precepts of our religion. May I keep this?
Of course. I think you will get along well with the Pollux inhabitants, and I'm sure you will have interesting theological discussions. I think I should return it to where I got it from. No, I want to keep it as a memento for myself. Of course, I think you will get along well with the Pollux inhabitants, and I'm sure you will have interesting theological discussions.
So, it's not really ours to give away, so first, let's see if we can go back and tell them, oh, by the way, we gave your skull away. The one that you said we should return when we're done with. So, now let's trek all the way back.
I never dreamed.
Okay, so he had nothing to say. So actually, let's try this.
A child?
Of course. I think I should...
Now let's go back to him and see if we can talk to him and say, hey, they want the skull, can we give it to them? Because, I mean, the right thing to do is obviously to give it to him. But I also feel, because he asked us to return these items, that we should, you know, honor his request and say, and confer with him before we give it to the Nowian.
I never dreamed.
The old man carefully returns the item.
Bless you for...
Okay, well... That, it's not what I intended, so... I tried. Ladies and gentlemen, I tried to do the right thing here. So, with nothing else left to do, we'll give him his pet. Well, his descendant? Ancestor?
A child?
Descendant.
No,
Of course, I think...
And with that, we will,
You found the key. I can now turn off the machinery creating our guardians, and no more sentience shall be at risk. Surely the Holy One smiles upon us all. I have no way to thank you, Captain, but please carry this request from my people to yours. We have much ancient knowledge we can share, and we would like to join your Federation. Go in peace.
I will be glad to accept your application to the Federation. We shall have a diplomatic envoy sent to make the final arrangements.
We look forward to meeting them. We also look forward to having discourse with the colonists. Farewell. May the Holy One bless you.
Live long and prosper.
Kirk to Enterprise. Beam us up, Mr. Scott.
and as you can see, they don't even give us a chance to do anything. It's just automatic missioning. Which is why I made that save file, so I could tinker around.
Message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the problems at Pollux V and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
Awesome.
I might have known there weren't any demons.
We all have demons of our own, Bones. The ones we can't confront are often the hardest to deal with.
These demons were based on fear, Captain. A human failing.
I don't know, Spock. Everything that I've ever read about demons describes them as having pointy ears.
Gotta leave him laughing like every classic Star Trek episode. And with that, that is...
Hijack.
The end of,
Message from Starfleet, Captain.
On screen,
The USS Enterprise is to report...
Set course for base.
That is the end of the mission, as you can see. It automatically just throws us into the next one. So just out of curiosity, before we end things off, let's... is the computer updated?
Topic not available, Captain.
Okay, so we can't research Denalians.
Topic not
we can't
available,
learn more
Captain.
about
Topic
our
not...
security officer.
Hafnium, a metallic chemical element often found with zirconium. It has an atomic weight of 178.6. Atomic number 72. Hafnium is found on many worlds. It is commonly mined by the acolytes of the stars.
Hey, so at least some of the stuff we encountered, we can look up in the computer.
Topic not...
Alright, so that title isn't available.
Topic...
Okay, so we can't...
Disruptors, a Klingon weapon system, roughly equivalent to Federation phasers. Disruptors are believed to be less efficient than phasers in energy usage. Klingons have both portable and ship-mounted versions. USS Constitution, Federation flagship on the 5th year of a 5-year mission. It is commanded by Commodore Jake Aldrin. Its first officer is Commander Sasha Denard. Its current missions, non-classified, include escorting diplomats to the Tholians, charting heavy graviton fluctuations near Omega Maelstrom, investigating report of a 500-million-year-old Kikaroi Empire ship found adrift near Klingon neutral zone. Its designation is NCC 1700.
Weird, I thought Enterprise was the flagship, but and I don't know why this came up for disruptors. But,
Topic not...
Okay.
Hypoditoxin, a cure for the Nugarian infection, synthesized from Loraxian berries. Loraxian berries, a variety of berry found on the planet Pollux V, used by the natives for medicinal purposes, most notably the creation of hypoditoxin.
Topic not...
Okay,
Topic not.
So we can't find out about that ambush Everett's mentioned.
Organians. A race of transhumanoid beings that can manifest themselves in many forms. The Organians are a race of extraordinary power and wisdom. Organian intervention in the Klingon Federation War resulted in the Organian Peace Treaty, which settles border disputes between the two cultures.
And our final topic that was brought up in the mission.
Klingons. A humanoid life form that has used genetic manipulation to stratify their population. Their homeworld is Kling.
Kronos.
Klingons' culture is based on the principle of survival of the fittest, either through guile or physical force. Principles of honor are used to prevent the culture from killing itself completely. But these principles are extended outside their species only to non-Klingons who have proved themselves in battle. Negotiations over planets in the disputed area have been slowly advancing, hindered by recent Klingon technological exchanges with the Romulans. The Klingon Empire itself is economically backward and poorly organized, but their military force is extremely formidable.
So basically, they're kind of like the Japan of World War II, or the Soviet Union of the Cold War, whereas the Federation is like the U.S. plus the UN. And we did meet a Tellarite.
Topic no.
Tellarites, a race which joined the Federation several decades ago. The Tellarites are considered aggressive by Federation standards and have had numerous arguments with other member planets of the Federation.
Alright, so, there's one more. Do they have it?
Topic
no. They don't have information on the slide. So that concludes episode 1, Demon World. Got nothing else today, so thank you all for watching and stay tuned for next time as we delve into the second episode. We'll see you then.